Hey, what's going on, guys? Brandon here with Texas Plinking Gear. Gonna do a fairly short video, or if it's not short, at least hopefully it's information rich. And this is on a specific piece of gear. This is the Arc & Optics EP8 by 28. And why I think, from everything I've seen so far anyway, and I've seen a lot of LPVOs, I think this is the best, by far and away, the best LPVO for under $500. Could possibly even ruffle some feathers and say under $1,000, but we'll keep it pretty lighthearted and say it's the best for under $500. I say we just start with the price because part of the price is in the title. So let's just go ahead and jump right into that. The MSRP on this is in fact $499.99, but hold on before you tell me it just barely sneaks under the rules of the title. Currently, if you use coupon code Texas Plinking, that brings it down to $374.99, and that is quite a bit under $500. Saves you $125 at the moment, subject to change, but that's the way it's been for a couple months now. So at that price, that lets you get the Arkin/Rigid Precision Zero MOA mount. We're gonna go with the LPVO. I think it's smarter to go with this rather than the two rings, especially if it's gonna be on like an AR-15, for instance. I'll talk about this rifle and how it's not an AR-15, but if you were on an AR-15, you don't wanna bridge your rail up here and here. Here you could because it's monolithic, but usually on an AR platform, you wanna get a cantilever mount, which is to say it pushes it slightly forward while mounting further back like this. And for an LPVO, not a whole lot of long range shooting where you're gonna be maxing out of your dialing. So Zero MOA gets the job done perfectly. And using that same coupon code, that means you could get both of those, the mount and the EP8, and you'd be at $427.48, so quite a bit under the $500, and now you're actually totally ready to go. Quick little disclosure though, the reason mine looks like this is I put this kind of camo gaff tape on it because I thought it looked kind of cool, because I did the same with the rifle. On the main channel, just Texas Plinking, I did feature this in a random range day episode. It was episode 3, where I compared it primarily to a Bushmaster ACR. This is a Palmetto State Armory Jackal, and again, I just put the gaff tape all over here. And so I did it on the optic as well, but otherwise it's fully black. So the line of Arc & Optics, the premier of them is the EP. That's their Japanese glass and their better quality. And so this is the EP8. 8 for the zoom range. It's a 1:8 zoom range. And in case you guys are new to LPVOs, LPVO stands for low power variable optics. So they start at 1. So there's some 1:6s out there, but this here is a 1:8. So that's a zoom range, 1:8 by 28. 28 being the 28mm objective lens up front here, which is quite a bit larger than the standard of 24. Makes it pretty easy to look through and allows quite a bit more light in there, so that Japanese glass stays looking clear even like towards dusk and stuff. So very easy optic to look through. The reticle is also put on the first focal plane, or on the website you're going to see that listed as FFP. First focal plane means as you zoom in through the zoom range, the reticle actually grows, so the relativity of the reticle stays the same. Rather than the image growing on itself and the reticle stays the same, the reticle zooms in and zooms out as you zoom. And that way, when you have a reticle like this, which is a very information-rich and helpful reticle, you know the drop is always the same, whether you're at 1 or the 8, anywhere between, it's the same relativity. And good thing too, because the reticle is called the KL box reticle, and it has got a lot of information. I'll go ahead and display it up here as well alongside. And it might be worth pausing a little bit here. I'll keep it displayed for a bit, so no need to just yet. But a lot going on here. Probably calibrated for 5.56, but 308 is fairly similar up to most of these ranges. And is a pretty battle-oriented optic in the sense that it has range-finding features with, like shoulder width and everything like that. So it also has holdovers for different wind speeds as well, 7 miles an hour and 10 miles an hour. So at its very, very core, if you just want to use it for a basic reticle and just put the target dead center of the reticle, you can just use it for that. But certainly it's a reticle that you won't grow out of. And it's one that with a 100-yard zero, there's no more dialing you need to do, simply holding over as a battle reticle and get you out to some decent range, at least the effective range of a 5.56 or 308. So that's pretty darn cool. I should have probably mentioned this earlier just because I've already mentioned the mount. But it does have a 34mm main tube diameter, so you get a lot more adjustment. And again, it's just fairly easier to look through. So if you're gonna get a mount, I'd go Zero MOA with the 34mm mount, just so you guys know. But yeah, 34mm main tube, like I said, allows for quite a bit of travel. So that's gonna be 110 MOA, both elevation and windage. Both the elevation and windage are capped here. So I'll go ahead and show you what they look like. And this is pretty cool. For LPVO, very, very precise adjustments. A lot of them are like half minute. These are quarter minute, so it's actually the same adjustment as a precision scope. So that's very nice. A lot of rifles nowadays are accurate enough to warrant a smaller adjustment like this, rather than adjusting nearly a ½ inch at 100 yards per click. These are now quarter inches, and a lot of these rifles deserve that. So nice to have, certainly. That's the same on the elevation, obviously, so quarter MOA clicks. And we'll talk about the tactility in a little bit, but man, this is quite nice, I have to say. Very, very easy to reset as well. Now, a lot of people won't even reset their zero on LPVO because it's like, you know, just they're not going to dial anymore. But I would just to have it. And so what you do once you're on a random number, unscrew this piece. This pops out, put it on a zero as a new reference, tighten it back down. Super, super easy. For the price, it's nice to see that it also is illuminated red. Very, very nice quality illumination as well with different brightness settings on the left side. Final specs to go over here. The weight of the optic is 21 ounces. You have a pretty generous 3.74 inch eye relief. Field of view at 1 power is 121.15 feet. Zoomed all the way to 8x and it is 14.56 feet. So that being said, between the eye box and just overall the field of view, not a whole lot of the wall back here. A lot of times I get into these entry-level LPVOs and they just kind of feel like looking through a coffee straw with a thick border. This almost disappears. I mean, I did put this thicker lens cap on there, but even then it's not like so obtrusive and annoying to look through, especially without the flip-up cap. That outer ring almost disappears and it's just so native to look through. So very nice field of view, not a whole lot of obstruction, and you're under the impression you're looking through something significantly more expensive. It's also worth noting everything it includes. Obviously you're gonna get your optic. I believe you get 2 batteries. Maybe I'm wrong, it's been a while since I unboxed it. You get a removable throw lever. I removed it because it already has this fin, and that's enough for me, but you can see that there's threads inside there, so you actually have a little extension if you're running like a competition gun. But that fin that protrudes there is enough for me, so I am not running it just to have something that does not get snagged, but it does come with it. You also get rubber lens covers, like the kind of bra ones in one piece. Certainly works for going to and from the range. Otherwise, you can get these flip-up ones from Arkin as well. They're kind of cool because they could click all the way flush. Those are not included, but they're not terribly expensive either. But you get other ones that are included just to get you by. You also get a Arkin sticker and an Arkin branded lens cloth, and I believe that's about it. So kind of wrapping this up, going through some of the controls here. Like I said, brightness settings of the illumination here, and you have night vision 1, night vision 2, meaning that the reticle is super, super dim to where you can look at it through like something that picks up UV, like night vision, of course. So that's kind of cool that could go that low. Otherwise, you have 0 through 9 for different brightness settings on top of those night vision ones. On top, you have your cap, like I said, for your elevation, and then it is capped for windage there as well. We'll go ahead and keep that off so I can show you the tactility in just a second. Otherwise, you have your zoom ring here. Then you have your adjustment for your diopter under this lens cap. Like any other scope. So you get that set for your personal eye, then you're all squared away. So we'll wrap this up talking about the things that you can't necessarily read on a spec sheet or something like that. And you really won't be able to pick up until you get one for yourself, but I'll try my best here. And that is the overall quality and tactility. We'll start with just the tactility of the clicks here. That is just the perfect amount of resistance. The sound is not annoyingly clicky, but through the fingers and the ears, hopefully you guys can pick it up a little bit as well through your speakers. That is like no question. If I'm not looking at it, I know exactly how to click 2 from here. I mean, it is just so on the money. That's for windage and elevation. That just feels fantastic. As small of a detail that is, feels good, and I've dealt with some that do not. Sometimes the little hash does not land perfectly on a new hash. Never had an issue here, so that's really, really nice. It just seems super, super nice to look through. I'm not choking for more light or anything like that. And again, it's just overall an impression of I'm looking through something that costs more than it does. But again, $499 for the MSRP, and then $374.99, $375, let's call it, once you use the coupon code. And yeah, I really like it. At the moment, it's the only one I have, but I have another one on order, which brings me to the only con so far about this, and that is that it's not exactly a kept secret. A lot of people want them, and so they are quite a bit backordered. I don't know to what extent, but I'm dealing with that myself. I bought one, I bought this one actually when they were pretty new, and I got it after maybe 3 or 4 weeks. So it's not terribly quick. And I bought a second one about a month or so ago, and I'm hoping to receive it soon, but I have not. So that's the only thing, is you have to wait on it. So that's about it. Otherwise, guys, if you have any questions, let me know and I'll try to answer them down below. But that is the Arkin Optics EP8 1:8x28. I don't know. I've been waiting for something to go wrong, but it's just kind of been this I don't know, just an awesome optic that punches way above its weight, and I cannot recommend them enough. So that is a fairly quick look at the Archon EP8 1-8. And so yeah, anyway guys, that does it. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys next time.